Dark Valhalla Prelude by Legend. Hey guys, Game Hunter here, and yeah, we are playing not Windows, not Linux, but good old P&P. That's pencil and paper, or it could be other stuff, but that's what I usually know it by. So that's what this is. Let me go ahead and just read the story real quick. It's 3 a.m. in the morning on only your second day of a much-deserved R&R leave time. You have just barely fallen asleep when you were suddenly awoken by a distress call on your comm link. There's no one on the other end, but you can make out faint, odd noises. It sounds like scratching, distortion, and faint screaming. That's always a good sign. The signal is coming from the base where Project Valhalla is taking place. You don't know much about it, other than it's some sort of archaeological dig site where they found some sort of structure in Scandinavia, of all places. You ready your trusty combat shotgun, slip into your standard issue flak armor, and sheath your old gal Betsy, the combat knife you've had since day one, and head to the chopper. You arrive at the installation and are greeted by an eerie silence. After you enter, you are suddenly greeted by something else. Flashing red lights and the sound of an alarm. Someone has set off the base's self-destruct mechanism. The entrance is shut and won't open. You have no choice but to keep moving forward and hope you can either find a way to turn off the self-destruct or find some other way to escape. Hopefully, finding out just what the hell has happened here in the process. So yeah, this game, being pen and paper, kind of requires more of a board game, card game sort of equipment. And on a computer, that can be somewhat difficult to assemble. So instead, literal physical stuff. So instead I have a little thing of paint here, which has my grid. So I can just draw on it however I really need to, get out the brush and go just crazy stuff. I should probably actually pick a good one. Maybe that'll be fine. Well, I'll figure it out as I go. I'll probably be using boxes more than anything. Obviously I got the PDF here. I also made up this little game sheet to help me quickly describe things as they're going on. And this is just game prep stuff for whatever. I already got my stat sheet, rolled all my stuff. I got really bad skill reflexes, by the way. That's supposed to be a 2d6. Yep. Oh well, I guess it happens sometimes. And for the randomness, I have a place called random.org, which, wow, that really loves to move around. Anyway, we got the dice roller, so we just roll some d6 die. Fortunately, that's all I need to do. And the random.org actually uses what's called true RNG, which bases it on certain physical phenomena that occur in the world. And so it's not just a pseudo random number generator with some kind of seed that I would expect to have, very predictable and reliable results. We also got cards for this. Since the game requires you to kind of cut the deck between two Joker suits, what I'm going to do, instead of having the entire deck and then two Jokers, because I can't kind of stick one Joker in the first half and the other Joker in the other half, is that I'm going to play with just half a deck at first, and then move on to a second deck. And then when you pick up both Jokers in this game, that means you move on to the next area, or the next floor, level, whatever. However, there are differences between the diamonds, clubs, and the hearts, spades, namely the number of room exits. So for that, I will be using a coin flip, also using true random number generation in order to do so. So yeah, we've already been at this for a few minutes just talking about stuff, so let's actually try to get into this game as much as possible. So, with all this stuff on the screen, let's go ahead and just start things up. And yeah, look at all that great stuff about things. Anyway, so at this point we just start drawing the cards, and let's see what the first one we get. That's a queen. Oh man, unfortunately, if I just show this off, when you get this for your first, oh man, where is the first freaking thing? Well, anyway, the point is that for face cards you got to start over. And that's the Joker already. Yeah, let's just start over. Draw a card, hopefully. Yes, it's a 6. Hooray. It is a 6. A 6, in this case, means... I actually have that written on the nice little game sheet, as a matter of fact. So here we get to say, and I should probably just make this fit properly. We got a 3x2 empty room, and let's see, what was the? It was, I think, black, right? Blah. I can't get to where I need to get to. There we go. It's a clubs. Yeah. Let's just go ahead and leave that somewhere where I can easily pick it up again. So that means it's going to be. Did I really take clubs? Oh, no, that's spades. So let's go ahead and flip our coin, see if we get one exit or... You know what? The initial room has 4 exits regardless. So this is a 3x2 room. Let's go ahead and draw that in. Start drawing our little 3x2 room, and that's where we start. Not sure how I want to identify myself. Right now, I think maybe just kind of just draw a little thing in here. That's me. So whatever, that's just me. Yeah, good times. Okay, so now that we're here, we have to decide what we want to do. Blasted. So many screens, and I just need to kind of like keep things properly around so that I can actually collect them easier. Is to look at our non-combat actions. So we got rest, which we don't really need to do right now. We can search the current room, which checks for hidden items or exits, and we have up to 3 uses per room. We can reload, use items, none of this, blah blah blah. Anyway, the big ones for us are we can either move to another room or we can search the current room. And I will in fact just search the current room, and let me just check the rules very quickly on that. You know, not just off screen. Anyway, so yeah, this is there's just a little place where we actually roll for secret room, and let's see what we get. Oh, and since I did search the room, where are you, Mr. Notepad? Since I did search the room, it's going to cost me 2 time points, so let's just record that real quick, and let's say do 2 virtual die. And what do we get? Oh man, I could have sworn I saw that was not a good roll, because oh yeah, that's an ambush. Oh boy, ambushes. So with ambush, I actually have that written on the game sheet somewhere. Hoo boy, let's see, for rolling D26 minus luck divided by 7 for the ambush. Let me just make sure I know what that actually means if an ambush just happens out of the blue for crazy reasons. Well, there don't seem to be any explicit rules for kind of ambushes out of nowhere, so I'm going to go ahead and treat this as a wandering enemies case. So we need to roll 1d6 to see what the number of enemies are. Oh boy, it's 5. Whew, okay. And then, so we need to then roll simply for the ambush part. Oh yeah, and then I gotta roll 1d6. Is this is a medium room, so yeah. Let's go ahead and find out, because we got ranges here. So in our mid room, we got 1 to 3 is close range, 4 to 6 is mid range. So we got a mid ranger, close, mid, and mid. So for mid, let's just start writing out the enemies. So mid, close, mid, and mid. And now we got to roll 2d6s for each of them to figure out who shows up. And of course we got these. I'm kind of curious as, yeah, let's just roll all 5 at once. Or wait, no, that's not. We got to roll 2 per. So yeah, start with that. So we got 6. We got Mr. Dwarf. Let's go ahead and write him down. So that's a dwarf. And he's in mid. We roll again. And we got this time 9, which is a fiend. That's great. That's just this game actually uses some, okay, that's another dwarf. Uses some cases of stuff from Quake. I mean, if you didn't notice the little Q at the beginning. Yeah. Oh man, another dwarf. 3 dwarves. I am really worried about this battle just kind of screwing me over entirely, because this seemed like a lot for the very first turn. Good times. Good times. And then we got a little elf. Alright, so I should probably write out quickly what they will be doing, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I've written it out very succinctly. This is how much HP they have to survive. This is how much damage they deal with a successful hit. And then the rolls, this is the number of dice they roll. This is the highest number they need to score a successful hit. And this is the number of re-rolls they get in terms of dice. Let me actually make sure that enemy re-rolls are similar to... We'll always re-roll any dice that did not result in a hit. And I'm going to guess that's all the combinations they can probably just re-roll as many dice, just like I do. I get 2 re-rolls for as many as I want. So anyway, now I got to roll to see whether or not I got ambushed. 2d6 minus like my luck divided by 7, so that gives me a -1 on it. I think if it's 7, let me just bring that up again. Doop-boo-boo. Man, 5 enemies though. That's pretty rough. Gotta say, hard to believe that I got ambushed by just looking around. Anyway, ambushes. There we go. If ambush is less than or equal to 7, you get your first turn. Otherwise, all of these enemies are going to get the first turn. So this seems like a very important roll for me, and let's hope it's low. And it's low enough. Thank goodness. So that means I get the first turn. Whew. I guess I'm not sure. Do I get a turn and then everybody goes? Or do I get a turn and then one of them goes and then I go and then another? That would probably be way too simple. Let me just look around. Yeah, based on this, it just sounds like the enemies being that they'll all get to go at that point. Oh man, that's gonna be a pain, man. Also, because it's kind of weird because they have certain weapons here, like shotgun, nail gun, double-barreled shotgun. I'm just gonna go ahead and pretend that they don't actually have these weapons because there's really 2 ways to go about it. Either we pretend that they just kind of use their weapon that's the same combat dice and stuff, but at range. Or we say that they have only 1 load and that if they screw up, then they automatically empty their weapon, can't use it anymore, and then have to engage in melee. I didn't really see anything written about that, so I'm just going to go with the simpler version just to make this go a lot faster. Because then otherwise I got to be writing out weapon stuff for everything, and that's always a pain. So anyway, looking at the enemies we have to deal with here, we have a dwarf close, we got the fiend. The dwarves seem fairly harmless, and it's really the fiend and the elf that I have to super duper extra man worry about. And since the fiend can't actually hit me because he only has a melee attack, I'm actually going to go with the fiend and see what I can do. So anyway, I got a shotgun. I also forgot to totally load myself out, but I noticed in the beginning that it kind of just said that you had these things just kind of sitting on you. So we're just gonna go ahead and pretend that we already did that. And oh man, that's totally what happened. What are you guys even talking about? So yeah, also frees up the inventory because you can only have 8 slots, and there you go. Flak armor, that's how many armor points I have. Every time I take damage, that gets reduced by 1 until it goes to 0, and then it's gone. And flak armor only protects by 1, if I'm actually remembering this properly. Yeah, -1 damage. So there you go. So let's go ahead and just start rolling because, man, this is like the first action in the game, and we should probably get started moving on that. The shotgun, we have 3 combat dice. So I am going after the fiend. I have to get 1s to do this, and I don't get any extra damage because, yeah, that's how that works. However, I can spread out the damage however I want, and I'm going to go ahead and pretend that I can spread out damage only within a particular range, unless it says otherwise. And I guess there's also yeah, right. So anyway, let's go ahead and just roll our dice. It would be nice to have the combat knife, but I can... One of my actions in combat, as a matter of fact, is to switch between the... one of my... Let's see, where is it? Here we go. Switch to a standby weapon, although each enemy gets an extra reroll. Yeah. Huh. That's surprisingly annoying, especially if there's 5 enemies. Wow. But anyway, we got to go ahead and do our shotgun attack. This will cost, let's see, time dependent on the weapon. Wait, really? I don't... Huh. Well, we're just going to go ahead and say that took up 1 time, because, I mean, what else is that going to do? So anyway, we're going after the fiend. I'll get 3 damage per shot. Oh, let's hope this works out. Okay, we need 1s. Okay, we already got a 1. Excellent. So we can roll up to 2 more times on those 2. Let's hope that we get another 1. No, and no. And that really sucks, because then my weapon is now actually empty. If your roll total is equal to or less than the total number of action dice, then you gotta do that. I'm actually very tempted to go ahead and attempt to re-roll my, because I can do luck stuff. I kind of wish I had written that one down. Okay, you may test your luck at any time in order to re-roll 1 dice. If you pass, you must subtract 1 from the luck score and re-roll the desired die. If you fail, you must subtract 2. You must use 1 less action die on your next action or combat roll. So the way luck works is that you roll a 2d6, and if your roll is less than or equal to your current luck, then you've succeeded. If it's greater than, then you failed. So given my situation, I think I'm going to have to try for a luck roll here. So 2d6, don't fail me now. I got 9 luck, so I would have to have a 10 or greater, and 9. Phew! Okay, so I lose 1 luck, which always sucks. Maybe I'll get it back during level up. Who knows? But now I get to re-roll a die and pray that it is a 1. Oh well. Man, you know, I guess you gotta hope for these things, because it's still empty. Oi! Well, at least the fiend took 3 damage, right? I guess that's the way that it rolls, I guess. Oh, man. Blah. So anyway, the fiend's going to just have to take his turn to go close, because that's all he does. So now we got to deal with 3 dwarves and the elf. And these guys can deal quite a bit of damage, so let's hope that it's not too bad. So let's see. And he already got a 1. Good for him. And okay, so that's 4 damage to me, excuse me, because the flak takes 1. Okay, so let's just keep hoping that we survive this. And then we got another dwarf, and he gets 1, and he re-rolls, and he doesn't get any there. And the dwarves don't have anything special about them, they just kind of do their stuff. So we take another 4 damage, doot. Lose more on the flak armor. And, yeah, just keep moving along here. Alright, dwarf number 3. Alright, he re-rolls all of them. Wow, nothing. Sweetness! I didn't take any damage that time. Now for the elf. The elf's going to be annoying because he gets 2 re-rolls, and he only needs a 1 or a 2. Or she. Darn it. Okay, so that's 2 hits and a 3rd hit. Oh, boy. Okay, so I guess my flak armor takes 3. Oh, crap. I forgot about... I could have sworn I saw... Let's pretend that there wasn't a 6. Okay? Okay, yes. Well, you know, one of your next attacks. I'm probably not going to be attacking the elf next anyway. So I take 9 damage. Holy smokes. The problem, of course, is that in this very first room, I'm not allowed to, like, go anywhere. Because one of my actions, perhaps, is that I can, in combat, I can, back up. You can retreat, but retreating has to be done to the previous room. Meaning, if there is no room that exists in the first place, then you're basically just kind of totally screwed. 5 freaking enemies here. I'm surprised that, like, they're all... 4 of them are... Well, 3 of them are mid at this point, but... yeah, so that's what happened. And that's just kind of annoying. So, yes, anyway, I took 9 damage, so we gotta record... Oh, yeah, I already did that. Alright, so it's my turn again. Hooray. Hooray. Oh, man. So, anyway, I guess I'm gonna have to go after Mr. Fiend again. Let's hope for ones. Hope for ones. That's a single one. And then we got another one. Ah. Wow, okay, he's not even dead, so that's great. Oh boy. This would have been a lot more lucky if I only had to deal with one enemy. I guess maybe I should have treated it like that. I'm not entirely sure. It seems like this would be fairer if I had already gained a level or something. I'm not exactly sure. So anyway, we got the dwarf at mid-range. Let's just see what happens here. 2 ones. Well, that would already kill me. Dag, yo. Wow. Okay. Well, that was a lot of preparation for not getting very far. And unfortunately, it's like, it's already been 21 minutes. Well, yeah, I guess it's really hard to make these games show up somewhere in the in video style, because it is ultimately a board card game, and you really need to have everything laying out in front of you in order to make this work. And it will take a while to kind of get used to it, because when you're dealing with a video game, everything's kind of constructed for you, and if there are errors, then that always sucks. But you know, when it's bug free and stuff, you don't really have to worry about all the calculations and the rolls and making sure that everything is done correctly, because it has to be done correctly. In this case, it's not so much there, and you have to make sure everything is totally on the ball. So in any case, I'll just kind of attach my little game sheet, stat sheet thing as a just kind of a helper, just you know, for people considering trying this out, especially the game sheet, because that's just a little, you know, quick cheat sheet for everything that's written on here. So anyway, also I kind of want to apologize to Legend, because you know, he was actually talking to me about doing this, and it's already been 2 months and I never got around to it, because this was the one that was going to take the most prep besides getting the Linux thing running. So anyway, yeah, I would suggest taking a look at this. I think the system seems pretty cool, although I'd really have to play it a few times to see whether or not the balance is there. And obviously there is some ambiguity when it comes to the rulings. So, you know, there's always house rules and things like that in these games. So that's part of the fun, you know, just kind of making stuff up as you go. So anyway, this has been Game Hunter playing Dark Valhalla, the Prelude, and yeah, join me next time when we take a look. I think at this point I am actually done with games I can sort of technically play because of unfortunate incidents one way or another. So yeah, we'll be looking at the rest of the games that I can show more or less. But you know, until then, keep playing those roguelikes, guys. Take care.